And at the same time, as you can see, Maria is working in San Jose, and she reads the treatment, and she also have the assignment to her. She's a freelancer, which is in the San Jose working area, and she just need to resize this logo for letterbox. And once that's done, she simply tag it for Mark, say, well, it's finished, and now it's ready for your production. So you don't have to do anything special, just create another context that is this project is not only in San Jose area, which is highlighted here, but it's also in the production project where Mark is. That's the scratch area for Mark, right? So, so Mark, back to, where is it? Burbank, yeah. Back to Burbank into Mark's environment. As you can see, that's in there, right? So now this is still Sophia's window client with Photoshop. Back in Mark's environment, he checks it, and he keeps checking new projects coming in this case, Photoshop project. And have a coffee, wait for a few minutes, and check it again. Right here. You have a Photoshop project now available for this production. And he can also one-click launch this. But in this case, you see Final Cut Pro, Photoshop, because that project can be launched to multiple applications because they're all available. But he chooses to, instead of Photoshop, he chooses to use, of course, Final Cut Pro. Now you have it. So now you have a logo superimposed. Fast forward when Mark is done with all of this, and it goes for approval. I know he put an Eric Clapton soundtrack on it. He had a choice of Neil Young and Eric Clapton. He decided to use Eric Clapton. So now you have a soundtrack, one-click launch into the production, right? And so now for approval, all he has to do is that this is the next level of the workflow. Let Lee, the executive, to approve. So what Lee does, all Lee has to do is to log into his environment and say, what is here now? After 2 hours, I send out the email. What is what is done? What need me to approve? He has the same thing. He opened up exactly where Mark left off, and he can view the rough cut.
Still that beautiful blonde, I'm still in the running. Let's stick to business, will you, Joe? All I want to do is order 2 steaks for dinner. When lights close the tiger eye, I'll soon be with you, my love. When you lose this feeling.
So he go through this very quickly, and then if he wants any additional work, he does the same thing. Say Sophia do something here, and Mark do something here, and this again will appear in their work area, and the dynamic cycles continue. So when Mark finished, basically he's asking for some China-related graphics with this and clean up the soundtrack. So just remove the movie soundtrack and then keep the Eric Clapton soundtrack. So once all of that's done, we can fast forward that. So when Mark finishes all of this, and he has a finished project now, and so he does what any editor would do. He saves the project. He exports the final movie, right? In this case, a QuickTime movie. But the difference is that this is another managed web. Is that this drop folder for final delivery that Mark is exporting the movie is watched by our browser. So there's a watch folder that will pick up the finished project and generate a proxy so that Beijing can view instantly. This is the last 2 minutes. We'll finish. So right here, as you can see, there's a final delivery approval watch folder. So Mark doesn't have to do anything additional. He just continues his workflow, and it's picked up now. It's like the treatment and other videos. This finished project is on the web server. It can be VFinity were Googled. And the last step in Beijing, when all of this finishes, the Jessie, which is a product coordinator, PR coordinator in Beijing, logs in. She doesn't have all the privilege like others, but she does need approval because that's the internal customer, right? So she simply looks at the approval for her. Now we're looking at a lower resolution proxy of the production. So that's it. And this process can continue through the dynamic cycle of content creation and workflow management. So, in conclusion, remember today, media business is a different game. Media business is not about content anymore. It's a creative idea plus the context as we discussed here. And I believe we can all succeed and thrive in the new brave age of social network web by managing your contacts business. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shen Tong. Now we will start with our executive panel session.